Hey guys, testing the audio, just making sure everybody can hear me okay. Got a new mic and everything, hopefully it sounds okay. Can you guys hear me okay? Just testing everything out. Cool. Just wanted to make sure everybody can hear me. So tonight, I know it's been a while. I've been in the process of moving, so it's been kind of crazy. Not had a lot of time to get a lot of public build views going on. So hopefully we can start having more regular streams now. A little loud. All right, I'll see if I can turn it down just a pinch. Let me know if that's any better. Yep. Yeah, we appreciate all the patron supporters. That's turning out really great. It's allowing us to get a lot new models and things to start building on. We've actually picked up quite a few over the last few weeks that are going to be coming out before too long. Hopefully the schedule will kind of smooth out a little bit now that school started back, so we should be able to get a lot more consistent videos going on in the evenings. So I'm going to go ahead and just get started on the welding rig. So I haven't played with this one in a while, but I did finish the entire front of the truck. So really all we got to do now is the back of it. So it shouldn't take long to finish this up whatsoever. Probably going to change a few things on it, but for the most part, we'll probably just end game it as it is and just see how it looks and go from there. And maybe get some feedback from you guys and I guess it would help if I went to the live scene, wouldn't it? Give it a second, just make sure it updates. And it should be coming in any minute. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. Alright, once all this clears up, I can't stand that delay that YouTube has on it. Everything is so far behind when I'm trying to watch it at the same time just to see where I'm at. But anyway, we got the truck going on. And we're going to see if we can hopefully get this in game, maybe tonight. The rotator truck, I'm not real sure how that one's going to turn out just yet. Some of the GTA physics with that hook don't really work the way they're supposed to. For the most part, I can get it to work. It'll rotate. But anytime, like if you rotate to the left or the right and you try to pick up a vehicle and pull it back to where it's supposed to be, it doesn't really want to handle correctly. The hook kind of just wants to do its own thing and kind of go crazy. So not really sure if that one's going to be feasible 100% or not. But once I get caught up on a few of these builds I've got going on, I can revisit that one and just start over fresh with it and just see if we can maybe get it going on again. I do know for a fact that it will not work in FiveM. If it works at all, it'll just be in single player just because of the limitations that you have in FiveM. It won't let you stream a lot of the animations and the movement parts. So it may not be too feasible. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and turn a lot of this stuff off so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to kind of not try to talk a whole lot because I want to kind of get this finished. But I appreciate all you guys tuning in, and hopefully you'll pick up a few things along the way. So let's get this started. I think we've got everything. Like I said, the truck itself is finished. I went with the lower poly body that I was able to pick up, so probably going to change out these light textures. The blue's cool, but it didn't really turn out the way I was hoping it would. Is the front left tire bigger? No, it's just the way Z Modeler works. So when you're in like user view or preview view, it kind of distorts a little bit. So let me turn these off real quick. So as you can see, so basically the front of the truck that's closer to the camera, it kind of twists and distorts as you twist it around. But if you change to like 3D view, then that's like 100% accurate as it goes around. So it's just the way Z Modeler distorts everything. It's normal. Once you get in the game, everything will look the way it's supposed to. This is how I make mods for GTA. Z Modeler is the tool you use. I mean, you can build your 3D models in any program you want. You just have to be able to put them in an external format like OBJ or DAE or something like that. And then you can import them into Z Modeler and then start cutting up the individual pieces like the doors and the fenders and the hood, all that stuff, and putting it into the game functions that you see over here on the right. Like headlights, obviously, your indicator lights, all these individual little pieces. You just have to break it up so that the game can interpret it and make it show right in the game. At some point, I'll probably do tutorials, like true tutorials, not just me working on stuff. I just got to get time to do it between all the builds that I've got going on. So my suggestion, if you want to get into it, would be to pick up Z Modeler. It's like $4.95 a month. And then go with, I appreciate it, guys. Pick up Z Modeler. It's really not that expensive. I mean, if you really get into it as a hobby, typically, I mean, if you pick it up for like 6 months or a year, you know, it's a little more expensive, but you forget you even paid for it after a certain point. I would suggest importing like one of the default GTA cars because they're all unlocked, so you can play with them. And just import one, make a couple of small changes to it, and then export it, and just learn how the basic functions of the tool work. Because realistically, until you learn what all the individual tools do and their purpose, it's kind of like jumping into a lake trying to figure everything out as you go. I've been at it for a little over 3 years now, so. And I still learn new stuff all the time. So it's just one of those things you really have to dig into it and devote a lot of time to get, you know, good at it. So I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I do my best. I'm definitely not the best out there, but I try to make them as quality as possible. I do custom builds for people, yes. I do not sell models. I don't sell parts, nothing like that. If you want something commissioned, something custom built that nobody else has, I do that all the time. You're welcome to join the Discord and, you know, hit me up on there if you want to look into having something made, or there's plenty of other developers in there as well. A lot of the top guys in the community are out there, and they'll, you know, depending on what you're wanting done, I may send you to one of them, or they may send you to me, just depending on what it is you want done. If you're looking for like police and fire and all that stuff, there's several guys out there that are much more suited for doing those kind of vehicles. I don't really do much of that. I mainly do custom vehicles. I'm not really into a lot of the EMS stuff. So it just depends on what you're looking for. Who would be the best one to help you out with it. But I would definitely suggest joining the Discord. You can keep up on all the new stuff we've got going on, all the new builds. I try to cover a lot of stuff in these videos, but you know, there's just not enough time in the day to cover everything that I've got going on. I mean, literally over the last 2 weeks, I've probably picked up 15 or 20 new models that I've got to build. So there's going to be lots of new stuff coming out. So definitely not a shortage of any kind. I already explained the tow truck, the rotator. It's going to have issues, so odds are it may or may not ever happen. It's definitely not going to happen for FiveM, I can tell you that. The functions just aren't there in FiveM to be able to stream movement and stuff like that. Yeah, I already made a camper. You can check it out on 5mods. It's published on there. Just go to my GTA 5 mods link at the top of the page, and you can scroll down and see all the mods that I've done that are public out there so far. The camper actually turned out pretty nice. Yeah, as far as what I can make just about anything. It's just if I get time to make it or not. I mean, I've got so many different things going on at one time, it's crazy. I do enjoy making a lot of the custom bagged and chopped vehicles, obviously. That's more of what I would love to spend my time doing. But, you know, everybody else likes everything else too, so I try to do a little bit of everything for people, just to kind of make everybody happy best I can. But I'm talking too much, obviously. I'm not getting anything done on this, so let's, I'm just going to kind of focus here for just a little bit, and El Camino can kind of field any questions or anything that may pop up in chat that I may not see, so you guys just can hang out and check this out as I go. Probably going to be doing some customizations to this body on the back as I go. I'm thinking about getting some kind of embedded lettering or something across the back end here. And obviously I've got the tow hitch, but nothing really to hook it to yet, so I've got to clean that up as well. But the base of the truck is done. The front's finished. The suspension's finished. The frame's finished. I appreciate that, man. The boat turned out pretty good. So let's go ahead. I think I even got the engine bay in this one, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Oh yeah, we got the full engine in that one. So that one turned out really good. It's got the Duramax in it, or something that resembles the Duramax. I know it's not the exact one, but it's close. This is a 2015 GMC Denali HD. It's the base truck. And of course we're turning it into a welding rig so that we have something nice to use in our construction videos. So, and I know a couple other people that have been asking for it, so I'm sure you guys will enjoy it once it's out there. So let's go ahead. I want to change these headlights out real quick before we get too crazy into this. If this thing would hurry up. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Yeah, I think this one's gonna look good once we get it in the game. It'll come out really nice. I gotta get some hubs for it. I'm not liking all the empty gap behind the wheels. I need to finish that too. Where did all that go? I guess I deleted it already. Okay. So let's find our headlight texture right there. I am gonna swap that out for something different. Alright, welcome to the stream, guys. Any new people turning in? Just working on the welding rig a little bit today. I know, it feels like it's been forever, dude. I've been dealing with all this moving stuff, so things are finally starting to settle down a little bit. School's started, so nobody's running around the house, so it's a little quieter, and I can get some more focused attention on this stuff. Let's see if I can remember where anything's at. It's been a minute. No, I do not. I'm actually a network engineer. I don't do anything with cars in real life. I used to back in the day, but not anymore. It's much cheaper to build what I want in here versus real life, so appreciate you tuning in, man. Definitely check us out again. I'm going to try to get these going a little bit more regular than what we've been doing. So I know you guys like watching the build videos. Jeez, what am I looking for? Yep, those are a little too blue. Too blue, too blue. Those actually might look pretty cool. But something like that's a little more realistic. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, it's much better. It's a little whiter. Doesn't look as super blue as the other one did. Let me test it real quick and see what this looks like. Yeah, much more natural looking, not quite as blue. There we go. Very cool. Yeah, so we got our little custom logos on here. So it looks pretty sweet. But let me go ahead, hide all that. Let's see, we got our wheels. That's all of our tires. Oh, good grief, I still got to put these together. That's all of it. Let's see what we got for size. Eh, 32. That's a little high, but not too bad. As long as we're not over 64 or 60, we'll be fine. Yeah, 40 is not bad for the back one. Oh, very cool. Oh yeah, that's what I hear. I hear you make really good money out there in the oil fields doing welding and stuff. There's some fancy trucks out there, that's for sure. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for tuning in. And thanks for tuning in, all the new people that have showed up. Looks like we got a pretty good crowd watching tonight. Okay. Oops. Let's see. Animations, don't need that. Let's jump back in perspective mode. Let's get these wheels put together. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, just hit me back up in Discord. I've got, you wouldn't believe how many people ask me to build stuff all the time. I really need like a ticketing system or something to keep up with all these requests that people have had to make things. It's crazy. that one. Of course, that was the one I didn't need to do. Dang it. Don't need to do that one. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get the front one finished. Sorry guys, I'm trying to not talk too much because I really want to get this one in the game. I'm kind of excited to see what it looks like. Just kind of working away here. Appreciate everybody tuning in. I know it's a little late, but it's the only time I've got right now. Okay. It just depends on the truck. Some of them, I mean, I've spent, 40 hours or more on some of them, 80 hours. It just depends. All depends on how much customization goes into it. I mean, the base of this truck, going back and reconverting it from scratch to get lower poly counts on it, I've probably got easy 40 hours in this truck so far, in the base truck itself, not counting all the extra stuff I'm doing to it right now. Okay. Hey man, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys showing up. I know it's a little late, but figured I'd get a little work in on this thing tonight. I know I've been a little slack on the videos lately with the move and everything, so just trying to get back in the swing of things. Should be able to get these going on a little bit more regular now. Okay. Should be good for that one. Metal arm. We'll keep that separated for now. Keep that one separated. And let's go ahead and we'll copy on the other side. And let's see if we got this other hub lined up. Oh man, we'll see. I don't know if it'll happen or not. I mean, I can put the truck physically in the game, no problem, but making it work's a different story. Oh no, it was 96 here today in Georgia. It's crazy. Way too hot if you ask me. Okay. So Austin, welcome to the stream. Just getting a little work in on this welder today. Trying to get this thing in the game. Okay, those should be good. Let's go ahead and set these axes over here, here, and here. Make sure we got these right. Hey guys, what's going on? What's up, Lego Boss? Just trying to get a little work in. Appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. Not much, man. Appreciate you coming in. It's got the 6.6 in it. I mean, obviously it's not 100% exact, but that's what it's got in it. Okay. Okay, now we can center these up. Make sure we've got them all centered. Oh, sweet, man. That's awesome. Just working on getting these axes all switched around, trying to get everything lined up. There we go. Front wheel is finished. Now we need to set the axis of the hub on the wheel. And they'll turn all in the right spots. Still need to move them up a little bit. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I think it'll look good. We'll see. Let's push this up just a pinch. Actually, need to go out just a little. Now we can center it. And the front wheels are finished. Well, that one is anyway. Yeah, we don't need that anymore. Don't need that anymore. Let's go ahead and copy this one. Mirror it. Looks like the wheel lines up pretty good. Need to take that hub out just a pinch. Yeah, I don't do too many drag trucks. I started a Dodge one time, but I never finished it. The drag market, I'm not really into it too much. It's not really my scene. I mean, I'll do custom requests if people want it, but I usually just stay away from that market and the EMS market and all that stuff. Yeah, I would point you to somebody like McGarrett or Moscow or somebody do EMS stuff, police vehicles, things like that. That's not really what I do. It just, I can do them, it just doesn't hold my attention whatsoever. I just get bored with them. There we go. Now we're done with that one. Let's go check out the back one. Make sure it's all centered. Looks like we got that one pretty close to begin with. It's pretty close. A little bit off to the Z-axis, it looks like. I know it's very hard to see this stuff, but basically we're centering up all these axes so when you drive the truck, the wheels aren't flopping and bouncing all over the place. So now we can take this to this, and then we can attach this to this, And then that wheel's finished. And let's make sure our hub's still looking alright. Looks good to me. Nope, 2 needs to go out just a little bit. There we go. There's that one. Now we can take this axis to the hub. Now that side's finished. Let's go ahead and copy that. Mirror it. Make sure it still lines up over here. Looks like it's good. So now we can take this one, center its axis over here, and copy its axis to the hub. There we go. Now that side's finished. We don't need that. Don't need that. Now we have our 2 wheels that we need. So our wheels and our hubs are finished. So LF. Only thing we gotta do now is the collisions for them. So I'll get those straightened out here in a second. So that's LR. LF also needs brackets because it's gonna copy to the other wheel. So LF. Let's go ahead and dismiss all these because we're going to straighten them up. And LF, RF, LF, LR. Alrighty. Now we got those 2 wheels, got our collisions. Appreciate you guys tuning in and hanging out. Okay. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. Had to update my chat real quick. I've done tons of semi-trucks. You can just check the links out at the top of the page. Go to my GTA 5 mods page, and you'll see all the stuff I posted on there. I've done just a little bit of everything. Okay. Scale all these down just a little bit. better yet, let me do this. I'll start over fresh with all these. I'll do one and just work from it. And this makes it super easy if you're scaling stuff. Take your little purple dot, put it right in the center of what you want to scale up or down, best you can. To get it close, it doesn't have to be exact, but closer the better. And then make sure you have all your coordinates turned off, and then you can scale once you select what you're trying to scale. And it just does a perfect circle. This is how you do dials and stuff too. So if you're looking at dials straight on and you try to scale them and adjust them to the right size, just put your purple dot right where you want it to do your scaling from, and then just make sure you have all your coordinates turned off, and then you can just make it bigger or smaller. My suggestion is to make your collisions just slightly bigger than the diameter of the tire, because in the game a lot of the collisions for the ground and stuff are not perfect. So if you want to keep it sitting perfectly on the ground so it looks the best, just kind of make it slightly bigger. If you make them exactly the size of the tires, a lot of times your tires will sink into the ground a little bit. So if you kind of cheat it out just a little bit, it kind of balances it so it's a little more realistic looking. So once we got that, let's copy this axis again from the tire to the collision. And that one's set. What are we missing there? It's the wheel. The hub's off again, so copy that to the hub. And our collision looks right. Collision doesn't look right. So there, let's take the collision. It should be on the wheel. Wheel, collision. Turn the collision off, and we're going to go from the wheel to the wheel dummy, then to the wheel dummy back to the hub, and then everything should be perfectly lined up. Alright, so that wheel's finished. So now we can copy this, then we can move it. Now that we've got them to the right size, it should be slightly bigger than the back wheel. So just leave it off for a second so we can get it exactly centered. Just copy the back wheel axis to that. That'll put them on there perfect. If you want to, you can scale the back ones a little wider so the dually wheels leave tracks that look a little bit more appropriate. For doing this, I kind of go to the side view here. Just do X, and then we can just scale it out just a little bit wider. I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly wide, but you know, just wider than the front wheel. And once that one's done, we can make sure our back wheel should be set. So we'll just copy our back wheel axis. Sometimes you got to turn the collision off to get it. Turn that back on and hit the collision to get it nice and lined up with the wheel. So that should be that. Alright, so that's the rear wheel. We're still gonna have to make a dummy for it, but the front wheel is completely finished. Let's go ahead and copy that collision and that collision to make our other two. And we can just slide those X over. Ultimately, these are going to get put right on those You can center them yourself with the centering tool after the fact, but I'm just getting them out of the way. Alright. Now that we moved them, you'll want to center the axes on themselves, because you'll see they're... Oh, never mind. It didn't copy it. Didn't copy it, so they're sitting the right way. Cool. Let me turn these off. So we got our 2 rears and our 2 fronts. So I'm gonna have to copy the wheels one more time. But before I do that, let me make my dummy real quick. Just convert it to a dummy. And we can, just for reference purposes, let's go ahead and move all this under here. Just moving that one down out of the way. You have to rename these as well, so make sure you do that or you'll have wheels not popping up in the right spots. So that's your LR collision, your LR wheel, and then your LR dummy. So go ahead and copy your axis from your wheel, since we know it's centered. And we'll copy it to that dummy. Well, it's already centered, so you're good. Sometimes the little squares are bigger when you copy them the way I did it, but it doesn't matter. You can always adjust the scale under properties if you want to make it tiny again, but it's not that big a deal. Once you turn it into a compound, you're not going to see it anymore. So that is it for wheel LR. So let's go ahead, move that up so it's all in one. We're going to convert this wheel to a compound, lock it, LOD 0. Drag your wheel up here to LOD 0, turn LOD 0 off, turn collision on. Wait for it to finish saving. How do you guys like the mic? Does it sound better than my last one did? The headset mic just didn't seem to be cutting it, so I got me a desk mic. Sounds like it may be doing a little bit better. Shouldn't be banging around or puffing or anything like that now. Just drag our collision up there. And now our back wheel should be finished. Alright, you can turn that off. There's your back wheel. So now we can actually copy the entire compound over instead of doing it the way I was doing it. So let me get rid of this. So rear wheel's finished. Front wheel, let's go ahead and build it as a compound. I'll throw this one away as well. Cool, appreciate it. Let's go ahead and convert this one. Throw the wheel up here. Turn LOD off, turn collision on. Put the wheel up here, or the collision. And now we have 2 finished wheels for our front and back. So now, copy these. Modify mirror. Alright, now we got our exact spot for the second 2 on the other side. Looks like all the hubs still line up right. It's the Yeti, or yeah, the blue Yeti, the black one. So I still got to get a boom for it, but it seems to be doing better. I tried the Razor Siren and that thing sounded like garbage, so I took it back. It didn't even have a gain control or anything like that on it, so I wasn't even wanting to mess with that. This one seems to have a lot more controls than that one did. Probably still not the best, but it works. Alright, so there we go. So now that we've got our wheels copied, obviously we need to rename these and take the brackets off because we don't need the other side copying. So this is going to be RF. RR, oops, And we can move these guys up there with the other ones. Yeah, I didn't see the snowball. I just went and picked this one up at Walmart. Just figured I'd give it a shot and see. I'm lazy when it comes to ordering stuff. I just walk over to the store and get it. I'll get it. I'm not like trying to sound super fantastically amazing. I don't want to sound like I'm talking through a Taco Bell microphone anymore. So it's kind of annoying. Alright. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Any new people that have popped in here, if I hadn't seen you. It's kind of still trying to get used to my new setup. We recently moved, so I don't have my other screen set up yet where I can see all the chat, so I'm having to use a work screen just to kind of see what you guys are saying. You can't, you can hear my keyboard? Yeah. I need to play with the OBS settings a little bit now that I've gotten this one. I didn't have time to mess with it tonight. See if I can get that a little bit more of the background noise to be drowned out so you don't hear it. Hopefully there's not a lot of background sounds other than that. Hopefully it sounds nice and quiet now. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's growing pretty good. I'll be back to doing the construction series here soon. I've just been in the process of moving, and I've got some customer builds I'm trying to finish up, and the patron stuff started up. So this has kind of been a very, 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 very busy month trying to do all this stuff at one time. I really want to get back to doing my stuff, the construction videos. So I still have tons of models that I need to do for that series, and I've got a lot of cool things that I'm going to be doing in that. So hopefully within the next week or so, I'm going to have a lot more consistent videos of that stuff coming out. So hopefully you guys will tune in and enjoy it. All right, so RRRF. Let's go ahead and dismiss these that we copied, because we actually need to rename the collisions and everything else as well, or you'll still have issues. This is just faster than copying everything individually and doing it. Alright, so it's RF. This one's going to be RR. And if you can see, when you copy the compounds like that, your wheel axis. I'm not sure what a T20 is. Is that a truck, or are you talking about the one that's in GTA already? I think they have a car in there that's called a T20. I'm not sure. So yeah, anyway, when you copy the compounds, it will leave the collision on the wrong side. So once you get that done, turn your original wheels off that we were playing with, and you can copy your axis from this side to this side. Oh wait, you actually have to do this first. You have to center the axis on this side where we moved it to, and then copy your axis from here to the collision, and it'll pull it exactly where it needs to be on the opposite side. So let's do RR. Oh shoot, I gotta do that for the, copy this to the dummy as well, and then you're set. And we may have to set our hubs one more time now that we've copied it. Copy your wheel to the hub, and then you're set. So that wheel's finished. I don't really do supercars. That scene is kind of way overcrowded in my opinion. I've never really, I mean, I've done some cars, I've done Challengers and things like that for people that have wanted it, but you know, it's not something. It's kind of like the EMS stuff. It doesn't really hold my attention, so I never really stick with it. All right, so RF's finished. RR is still needing to be copied. So from here, copy to your collision, if it would light up. And then copy from here to your dummy. And then this side's finished. Last thing to do, just to make sure, copy from the wheel to the hub. Oh yeah, I've seen Iggy's videos before. So that's it. So now your right side wheels are finished. So now you can build the compounds back, and we are done with wheels. So lock that, LOD 0, throw your collision up there. All right, that one's done. Convert, lock, LO, wheel, collision, finished. All right, so now we got all 4 wheels. Obviously you don't need all 4 wheels, but we just needed the collision, so I actually need to take these 2 back off. So RR, let's go ahead and delete LO, and RF, delete LO. And then you can go and delete these 2, because they'll get copied from the other side, but all your axes should be all lined up now for everything else. So wheels are finished. I've never tried to do weapon mods. I'm sure it's not too bad. I've seen a lot of people do it, but I've never tried. Much like pedestrians and things like that. It looks pretty cool, but I've never gotten into modeling people or anything like that. I try to stick with, what I do. So. Okay, so that's that. Those are our 2 handles. So I'm just going to go ahead and center these axes to make sure they're right. We can turn those hubs off now. And those are just stickers. We'll go ahead and center those. The door, center that. All the other doors. I don't think I'm going to make these open. I don't know if I really want to get into the detail of that. Thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate you hanging out. Let's see. I think I'm just going to make it a sealed up bed. At some point I may make it open up and do fancy things, but for now I think I'm just going to have it sealed up. I don't really know. It's kind of a lot of doors to try and put something like that on a 4-door vehicle. Plus this one's got the engine, and there just wouldn't really be enough dummies to do that. I could do it as extras, but I'm not really sure. Okay. Let's go ahead and attach all these doors. We can actually go ahead and put our stickers on here. More stickers. More stickers. Welder body main. I don't even know what the polys are on this. Hopefully it's low enough. I'm pretty sure it was. Oh, I'll have to fix that. So basically anytime you're building a model and you're attaching parts and you run into the issue where it does this, that means you're over the poly limit for that part. So if you actually go in here and look at these pieces, so that part of the bed is 37K verticals, 19K poly, and then you look at the other half of the bed, that puts the verticals slightly over. But if you look, the verts haven't been welded on this yet. So what you can do is make sure you save. 100% make sure you save, because this is almost guaranteed to crash the program if you do too many things at once. But this is a good way to get your verts down so you can stop running into that problem quite so much. It's not always going to fix it, but on any of the pieces that you can see defined lines like that, that means the verts haven't been welded yet, and that can, usually when you do that, you can cut down a lot of the polys and the verts when it welds it all together. So let's take one piece at a time. Let's do the little piece first. Go to your vertical level. Select everything. Go to modify and go right here to weld verticals. Typically you would use this if you're doing like 2 verticals at a time, but you can go to options and say multiple targets and click it again, and then come down here in your active window where you're working and just click once and just let it sit there for a minute. It'll just kind of lock up and won't do anything until it pops up the little calculation window. And once it finally pops up, there's a few settings we're going to change. If you just leave it default, it's going to screw your model up. But if you change some of the thresholds on it, it just depends on the customizations that go into it. If I have dedicated time where I don't have interruptions and I can get stuff finished, I can usually knock them out pretty quick. I mean, if it's got a lot of scratch built parts and things like that on it, I mean, I can spend 100 hours on it, just depending on what it is. So it just depends. Yeah, it can be a few hours, it can be tons and tons of hours. Just depends on what you're wanting. And once this updates, sometimes it takes forever. And sometimes the stupid box pops up slightly off the screen where you can't see it. So sometimes you can just give it a little bit more. Let's just hit enter and see if it's hidden somewhere. No, it's hidden off this. It's just taking that long to load. So as soon as it pops up, we'll change the settings that we need to. Appreciate all the new guys tuning in, everybody that's currently watching. I know it's a little late for stream tonight, but I'm just trying to squeeze them in when I can. I hate making you guys wait forever for some new content, so I figure we'd get a good start tonight on it. So once this pops up, you can get it to release where you can change stuff. Welding verts is just crazy, especially if it's got a lot. You can tell right here, this piece right here has a ton of verticals on it, so this should cut this number way down. Right now it's 52,000 for this one piece. So I would say once we weld them all, we'll probably be at 20 to 30, somewhere in that range. If it's actually ever going to release the dang thing. Sometimes you got to toggle it away to get it to release itself. Come on. I think it's just completely locked up now. Good grief. Well, that's why we save. Sometimes it just wants to be its own stupid thing. Alright, let's try it again. Once again, that's why you save, because odds are welding's going to screw something up. I'm going to go ahead and open, what was it? I'll go ahead and open 3D Studio, because I got a really cool model yesterday that was a donation from somebody. It's going to be a really fun one to build, if I can get it going on. Let's go ahead and open this back up while that's loading. Oh, seriously? This stupid thing's gonna make me reboot my freaking computer. Goodness. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to open this. Good grief. Oh well, I'll show you some new stuff. Let me get 3D Studio open. We've got let's see, which one was it? Bear with me a second. I'm trying to find the right one. There's a few different versions. I think it was this one. Typically, yes. I mean, I do a lot of custom, a lot of stuff for the public that I put on FiveMods, but I do commissions if people want stuff custom built. So I have not seen this one yet, so this will be fun to do. It's actually a super nice model. There we go. So I got some plans for this one. It'd be a cool one to do a little off-road version of. But it's got full super high detailed interior and everything in it. It's really cool looking. So this will be one you guys will see before too long. We'll get this one all customized and put out there. We got, I know we still have to do the street sweeper. That's another one on the list to build. El Camino started. He got a good base of that one going on for us. We've got, let me see. I actually do have a car that I am building right now. This is a customer build that that I've been working on for a little bit. Nowhere near finished, but just something that he wanted. So just been kind of mocking it up a little bit, getting everything converted on it. So it'll be a cool little car once it's finished. Haven't seen a whole lot of these in the game yet. We'll do some custom graphics and stuff on it, and may put air ride on it. I'm not really sure yet. I was just kind of playing with wheel positioning and stuff when I was building it. What else do we got? El Camino actually made a nice set of wheels for us. These are actually going to go on a Super Duty that I've got coming up. I started putting all the extras on these last night. He got us the American Force Luckies, so we'll be able to get those going. But they turned out really nice. Let's turn off these. So they'll look really cool once they're in the game. Oh yes, Mad Max cars, he's talking about it. Got lots of those. What else? This is one that I've been working on for Moscow. This is going to be, I think Blue Jay and Moscow actually made me the back end for this truck because I needed a lube truck for the construction equipment. So they absolutely went crazy and scratch made the whole back end of this truck for me. So this is going to be my refueler for the construction series. This is also SEMA, so this will be getting converted and put in for everybody at some point. I had to scratch fit all the interior into it. So this one's actually coming along really good as well. But yeah, Blue Jay went crazy. He handmade these pumps and everything back here. Let me find it. Where's it at? Here we go. Look at this. He handmade all this crap. I was like, dude, seriously? I mean, mean, he just absolutely went over the top on this build here. So I can't wait to get this one in there and start using it. It's going to look really sick. But I should have this one finished probably a couple more days. I'm already to the point where I'm in-game in the whole truck. I had to do all the filler panels for the door jams and all that garbage, so that was a pain in the butt. So had to seal everything up. I still have to go back and put 3D gauges in it. Right now it's just got a textured gauge. So we'll get that one in there, probably put some more little buttons, 3D knobs and stuff on the inside just to make it look a little bit more realistic, but it's coming along good. It'll be another good little semi to add to the fleet. But obviously you can tell you turn that off the back and you've got the full semi chassis, so we can use this for all kinds of stuff once we get it in there. Dump trucks and whatnot. So it'll be sweet. What else? I'm actually revising this suspension. So I'm actually going to have the full striker suspension. I'll have that set up as well. That's probably going to go on the F350 that I'll be doing once we get that going on. So, I mean, this have the full setup. So this was, I forget who the individual was that actually made this, but they did an amazing job. It just needs, the polys were just way too high, so I'm having to go back and recreate a lot of the pieces just to lower poly stuff. But it'll be another really good suspension once it's finished. What else? You guys have already seen a lot of the patron trucks that are out there now. We still have, I think, 2 left for this month. And did I ever use gems? No, I don't use gems. I use 3D Studio. Sometimes I use Blender, although I don't like it. It's like learning a different language to try to use that tool after I've been using Zmod for so long. It just depends on what kind of job I'm trying to do. Most of the stuff I use other tools for is just like trying to get polygon levels down to make things more game ready. But 90% of the work happens in ZModeler. I think this was that F350 that I was starting on. I don't remember if I started cutting everything up on it yet or not. Yeah, that was the base of it. So we're going to get that all cleaned up, redo all the suspension on it, and turn it into a show truck once we get it going on. But that'll look good when it's finished. What I know, we got several other trucks that we picked up last week. The 567 Peterbilt, I've got this one coming. I started cutting all this over, texturing it up, so this will be another semi that we get. I believe this one's going to end up being a wrecker, I think is what it was started as originally. So as we get this one built, it'll probably get pushed out to everybody, but it'll be another good one. It's got good interior and everything on it. So we'll see what she looks like when she's done. Anything else? 86 F250. What was this one? I got crap. I don't even know what it is. Oh, that's that big F250. We'll be doing a custom of that as well. That'll look really cool. And Silverado. I don't know if you guys have seen this one yet or not. I've had it in a couple of videos. I started working on it. I bagged it and got it all tubbed out in the back and everything. I still think I'm going to shave the tail lights off of it and do something crazy with the back end of this one as well. But we'll see. Probably do a custom motor right now. I think it's just got a 350 or something in it. Yeah, it's just got a little cheese ball 350 in it, so we'll have to cut all that out and redo it, convert it over to something else. But that's it. I think that will be it for tonight. Unfortunately, the stupid file locked up, so I can try to open it one more time. Yeah, it won't let me. It won't release the file, so I'm gonna have to reboot to get that going on. So that's not gonna work for us. Let me see. Is there anything else that I can show? I've got a new 2020 RAM. I got the new low poly version of that, so I may be doing some more customs with the new one. The Navistar, I got that. I think that's it. So, lots of new stuff coming. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Looks like we had a pretty good crowd tonight. Like I said, I'm going to start getting these going on a little bit more consistently than we've had now that we got the move out of the way, and see what kind of goodness we can get coming out. Get some more videos coming out as well for the construction stuff. Still have a lot of things in the works for that, and we'll see how that comes along. But I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'm going to go ahead and call it for the night. And thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys.